And we are back. All right, that's rather fun. And let's hop right back into this. So I will say just before we start, and I know I feel like I'm knocking on, but this stream has gone for a while, so I just feel like I have to remind you. If you really want help with any of this, I'm more than happy to, make a video or do really anything to help. Write a comment, reply to a chat, anything really. I am well very much available, very much whatever. So if you like this sort of content, especially if you're studying, please feel free to leave a comment. Please feel free to chat. Please feel free to tell me to do some sort of other thing. If you like other math related things, like maybe you want to study for the AP test, which I believe that just passed, so I do apologize I missed that little bump. Or if you just I'm struggling with the topic, math related topic, please feel free to reach out in the comments or in the chat or wherever, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, or even reach me out on Twitter. I'd be more than happy to help. All right, so sorry for this shameless plug-in, but we can continue. Missed the calculator section, so we're gonna honestly try our best to breeze right through it. Right. John runs at different speeds as a part of his training program. The graph shows his target heart rate at different times during his workout. On which interval is the target heart rate strictly increasing, then strictly decreasing? Right. So really the last part of most of these questions is really what they're asking, and on which interval is the target heart rate strictly increasing, then strictly decreasing? All right, so strictly increasing the heart rate and then strictly decreasing. So it sort of looks like it's just between 40 and 60, just off the bat. Though I would have to honestly pull up the answers. And yeah, that actually is the answer, just between 40 and 60. But let's go through everything else. Between 0 and 30, 0 and 30, there's increasing and there's stagnation. There's no decreasing, so that's wrong. 50 and 65, 50 and 65. Wait. Oh, because it's between 50 and 65, it is decreasing then increasing. It's not increasing then decreasing, so that's why that's wrong. So I guess watch out for stuff like then, because that will really draw a bit of a what's it called, a wrench to your plan, because it's time based, and that's why B is the correct answer. And then D between 70 and 90. 70 is here. Stagnation, jump, increase, stagnation. So there's not even a single decreasing. But yeah, that's wrong. Right. I hope that does make sense. Just because strictly increasing, strictly decreasing, it also looks the most like it's strictly increasing and strictly decreasing. So yeah, that's why we choose it. Right. If y is equal to kx, where k is a constant and y is equal to 24 when x is equal to 6, what is the value of y when x equals 5? Well, for that, we're going to pull up the good old handy dandy paint thing. Right. So we know 24 is equal to k. For some reason, we're putting k first. We don't know why. Times 6. So k is equal to 4. It's equal to k. So we want 4 times 5, which is 20. 4 times 5 is equal to 20. And that should be the correct answer. Yep, C is the correct answer for this problem, and that's really good. Right. That's simple enough. We solve for k, and then we solve for the answer. We solve for k, and then we plug in x. All right, so now we're on to 3. 3. In the figure above, lines L and M are parallel and lines S and T are parallel. If the measure of angle 1 is 35, what is the measure of angle 2? Well, the thing with this problem, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be a pain to draw it. If only I was an artsy person. So let's assume that these are parallel. They're not drawn to scale or anything. Let's assume that is the case. So we have 35 degrees, and we know this is 35 degrees because parallel lines, this is the same angle as this. We can prove it because this is the angle here, right here, this is 35 minus 180, and the angle here is 180 minus 180 minus 35, or really, so that angle is like 180 minus 180 minus 35 in parentheses, 5, which is just 35, I suppose. Yep, no, positive 35. And yeah, that's for that. And by the same logic, this angle right here is 35, same theorem. Granted, you know, if you know both lines are parallel and you don't know the laws, you could just assume the fact that the bigger angles are 100, sorry, not 100, yeah, 180 minus 35. And honestly, you'd be right. Technically, you're not really using much math, but you would be right. So the answer is, in fact, D for this, 145. And honestly, this one's really easy, I feel. Like, you could get this without doing math. Because earlier, they did say that all problems are drawn to scale unless otherwise noted. And you notice that 2 is much greater than a, I'm sorry, and also 2 is right here, so 180 minus 35. I should probably write that. Minus 3, 5. All right, cool. As I was saying, so you notice that every choice except for 145 are smaller than smaller than 90 degrees, and 90 degrees is a right angle, right? An acute angle is less than 90, and an obtuse angle is larger than 90, and 2 is an obtuse angle, so 2 has to be greater than 90. But even if you didn't, you get 180 minus 35 by just saying, all right, so 1 up here is 35, that means Tn is 35, which means Sm is 35, which means S opposite M, whatever, is in fact 180 minus 35 or 145 degrees. Right. Wow, my throat is really hoarse. I'm not used to streaming so long. No, that's a bit of a lie. I am, but I'm not used to talking so long during streams. I usually use my content. It's more of a buffer. Right. If 16 plus 4x is 10 more than 14, what is the value? Why do they do this? Why? 10 more than 14? Do they like to waste their time? Do they like to make sure that we accidentally press a second 0 in our calculators? So 16 plus 4x is... All right. Yeah, sorry, I just did something wrong. But yeah, let's do this. So 16 plus 4x. You know what? I'm not even going to do that. It doesn't even deserve. I'm not going to write it out. I'm just going to type it out. 16 plus 4x is equal to 10 plus 14. So we will rewrite this as 4x is equal to 10 plus 1, 4 minus 1, 6, which should be 8, right? Roughly 8. Yeah, no, not roughly, exactly 8. Yep. I need to say yep just to make sure, right? So x is equal to 2. And here, let's just delete this row. What is the value of 8x? Or 8x would literally be double 8, which would be 8x is equal to 16. So equal to 16. Simple enough. Not 18, 16. But yes, 16. And that is the correct answer. The answer for 4 is question C. I'm sorry, C, which is, wow, my throat is really hoarse. 16. Ooh, scatter plots. Those are fun. Which of the following graphs best shows a strong negative dissociation? Control C. All right, I just want to clear that. So which of the following graphs best shows a strong negative association between D and T? Strong negative dissociation between B and T. So A, it does look like it's negative. However, it's a bit more scattered. So I wouldn't say strong, but if nothing else was negative, I would go A. With B, kind of flat. C, it's positive, not negative, and D, D is the answer. Yeah, this one you just have to look at it and know what negative association. So what negative association means, and that just means as D is, this means just inversely proportional to, or sorry, is proportional to 1 over T. So basically, what this means is as T increases, D does not. Sorry, as T increases, D decreases, and as D increases, T decreases. This means proportional. So yeah, it means D is equal to roughly, roughly. Well, granted, that might not be the best way of describing it, but yeah, it's inversely proportional. D is equal to not 1 over T, because 1 over T is more like this when we're looking for something like this. We're looking for more of a straight line. So that's what we read it as, I think. I believe that's actually the notation. I could be completely wrong in that. But D is equal to basically negative KT, with K is some sort of constant, and the negative indicates negative. Right. So yeah, D is the best choice. A is close, but it's just not negative. And C is strong positive. But yeah, when you see negative association, think negative slope. And that's really the best advice I can give you. 1 decagram is equal to 10 grams. 1,000 milligrams is equal to 1 gram. A hospital stores one type of medicine in 2 decagram containers. Based on the information given in the box above, how many 1 milligram doses are there in one 2 decagram container? So yeah, we'll just erase this quickly and promptly. So this you'll just type in your calculator, but yeah, we don't have one. We have 2. We'll call them decagrams. We'll go DG, and there's 10 grams in 1 decagram. Yep. So we cross these out, and sorry, that should be 10. And there's 1 gram and 1,000 milligrams. 1, 2, 3 zeros, mg, and that equals 20,000. So choice D should be correct, and it is in fact correct. So I'll just write 20K. No, I'm not 20,000. Yeah, you would just type this in your calculator if you want to. Yeah. The thing with with the calculator portion is that honestly, you don't necessarily need your calculator for anything. I mean, the only thing they'll give you is like really big numbers, like 1,000. But even then, 1,000 here, and that looks like it's fixed, isn't that big of a problem just because it's a multiple of 10. I don't believe there's anything else. So that was 6. Let's move on to 7. Right. Rooftop solar panel installations in 5 cities. Ooh, nice bar graphs. ah. Mm-mm. The number of rooftops with solar panel installations in 5 cities is shown in the graph above. If the total number of installations is 27,500, what is an appropriate label for the vertical axis of the graph? All right, so here, I'm going to clear this part of the screen, and let's do our big print. So they're in 27,500, so 27,500. Here, I'm going to use my calculator. It looks like, well, let's see what it looks like. It looks like 9 plus 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3.5. So 9 plus 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3.5. Fortunately, that equals 27. And considering 27.5, and considering the number of installations is 27,500, I feel like we multiply by 1,000. So in which case, that would mean that 7 is C, number of installations in thousands, because of the fact that there is, on that graph, you can count 27, up to 27, but it's 27,000, so that's the multitude that we multiply by. Right, that's a lot of jargon that I just used, but yeah, it's thousands, it's choice C, and that's correct. Right, let's move on. For what value of n is n minus 1 plus 1 equal to 0? Well, let's use our big brains. I believe that does not exist. But does it? 8 is G, does not exist. Right, here. So n minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 0. That would mean n minus 1, the absolute value of that is equal to negative 1. And there's no such situation in where the natural value of some number, be it n or n minus 1, is equal to um, anything less than 0. In which case, this is entirely impossible. So absolute value of, let's say x for this case, because it's n minus 1, but it's x, because x is any number, must uh, must be greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0, and that is truth. However, this contradicts that. This is saying that's wrong, basically. So there is no solution, no such value of n such that that statement is true. Right, so that was 8. Oh wow, they're really wasting paper on these. They could totally fit. I don't like the referring to information questions. It's annoying. A is equal to 1052 plus 1.08t. So I'm just gonna write that 1052 plus 1.08t. So yeah, I do apologize. I forgot to write it up here. A is equal. Actually, you know what? Why do I keep writing things out when I can just type things? A is equal to 1052 plus 1.08t. Oh, I misclicked it. And the speed of a sound wave in air depends on the air temperature. The formula above shows the relationship between A, the speed of the sound wave, in feet per second, and T, the air temperature, in degrees Fahrenheit F. Right. So, let me just think. Right. Let's use our big brains here. Right. Let's. Oh, I misclicked. That's my bad. I need to start doing that. Oh wait, I guess here I'm gonna double check to make sure. No, everything's all right. No, I was gonna double check that that's foolish of me. Yeah, everything's working correctly. So let's pull this up and use our brains. So we just want t in terms of a, and we sort of did something similar to this before, except it was a little bit more complex. But yeah, we minus 1052. So we get a minus 1052 is equal to 1.08b, and then b is equal to 1 over 1.08. 1.08. Divided by 1.08. I forgot this was actually easier. The exact value, or not easier, it's the actual solution. So negative 52 divided by 1.08. That'll give us negative 48.1818. Yeah, negative 48.18. Da 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 da. Yeah, all that jazz. But we don't care about that. Negative 41.18, negative 41 point, let's round it to 2. That's closer to negative 42. And you can't really see the negative, so I'll double it up. Yeah, it's negative, negative, whatever. You get the point. But yeah, negative 48, and that's choice B, and that's the correct answer. All right, now we're on problem 11. Which of the following numbers is not a solution of the inequality 3x minus 5 is greater than or equal to 4x minus 3? All right. So this is a bit of plug and chug, but it's fun and dandy, I suppose. Here, I'm just making sure that is everything honky dory? Is everything a-okay? I can't tell honestly. Here, I'm going to not be right back. I'm going to go to there and make sure everything is working, and everything is working. So that's perfect. Really nice. All right, I'll just go back and bring it up and hop back into this and start the problem. Right. So we're gonna want to get x on one side and constants on the other, but we'll bring x to the right side and bring the constant to the left. So we get by simplifying this, right? By simplifying this, and honestly, yeah, I'm just gonna use tags. Text is much easier. And instead of 11, let's move it to 24. Right, that should be better, I hope. So instead of 3x minus 5 is let's just use greater than or equal to as that sort of term. I don't have a greater than or equal to button on my keyboard, so apologies, but yeah, 4x minus 3. 4x minus 3. And down here, we'll just simplify it to be, yeah, we're going to get x on one side and everything else on the other. So we're going to end up with negative 2 is greater than or equal to x. So which one is not the case? And well, lo and behold, there is one thing greater than negative 2, and that is negative 1, a. And for 11, the answer is indeed a. Right. So that's perfect. So we'll move on to number 12. Numbers of seeds in each of the 12 apples. Number of apples, right. All right, number of apples, number of seeds. Based on the histogram above, of the following, which is closest to the average arithmetic mean of number of seeds per apple? Right. So this is actually a bit confusing, the way it's worded and whatnot for number 12. However, which is the closest to the average of number of seeds per apple. Number of seeds in each of 12 apples. Number of seeds. All right, so, oh, never mind. It's a histogram. It's just basically number of seeds on each apple. So yeah, arithmetic mean of number of seeds per apple. So which is closest to the mean? So we're going to have to add up. So we're going to need 3 times 2 plus 5 times 4. 5 times 4. Here, actually, before I write that, you're going to want to sum 9 times 3 Oh, and I forgot one of the most important parts. Divide that by 12 equals, and we're going to divide by 12 over 12, and we'll just that equals, yeah. So up here, we're going to get, and it's a histogram. So number of seeds in the stack 12 apples. I'm going to be honest, I was a bit confused when I first saw this graph. I confused number of apples as like, I just didn't read it properly. But yeah, the number of apples are like the number of apples that have that amount of seeds. So there, of the 12 apples, there are 4 that have 5 seeds in them. Right. But yeah, let's keep going. So we're going to enter this in a calculator 3 times. All right, so yep, 3 times 2 plus 5 times 4 plus 6 times 1 plus 7 times 2 plus 9 times 3. And that should equal 73, maybe? Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I might have added wrong. So don't forget to always double check your work. And I'm going to divide that by 12, 73, and dividing that by 12 is equal to 6.08. 6.08, which is, when I'm going to round it, is roughly 6. So yeah, C is the closest. And yeah, that's what it's asking for, so we're good. So now we're on to 13. And yeah, ooh, oh no, I'm going to minimize this. A group of 10th grade students responded to a survey that asked which math course they were currently enrolled in. The survey data were broken down as shown in the table above. Which of the following categories accounts for approximately 19% of all the survey respondents? No, this is really, really unfortunate. So basically, what they're going to want us to do is considering, all right, so it's of all the survey respondents. So we're going to, all this, there's 310 people. Yep, 310 people. Sorry, 310 people enrolled. So here, I just pull this up. 310 people. So we're going to divide every number by 3.1. 209. Right. All right. And now that we have this, you know, we can use either substitution, elimination, or, and this is the best choice, graphing, which I will do. Desmos, going on desmos.com, we're going to graph our solutions. We're going to go on graphing calculator. Yeah, this is definitely the easiest way. I didn't actually get to show to you earlier, which I said I might too, so I do apologize. But yeah, let's say x is equal to x and d is equal to y, just because it's an xy graph. So 6.5 x plus 2y is equal to, what did it say? Yeah, 836.5. 836.5, and this is x plus y. Wait, oh, I didn't zoom out. I forgot about that. X plus y is equal to, what was it, 200? By 1.08. And this is in fact, or sorry, this is indeed equal to p. P is in fact, yeah, I can't work backwards really. Oh, what? Cancel. I can't really work backwards. Oh no. So this is the best I can do. P is equal to 1.08. So from there, we multiply the 1.08 times 0.8 is equal to, so P is equal to 1.64 times O. O is equal to, we divide by 1.64. Sorry, not 0.1. Oh man, I did that really wrong. 0.864. 0.864. Original is equal to. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. I said oh yeah, but I was talking about C. But that's no, that's the original price. No, wait. I'm confusing myself. That's that's is if P was the original price. We need to do some math for 20. But yeah. So it should be choice D. It should be simplified to that because I forgot to realize that most of the answers are indeed flipped over. But yeah, because you divide by 1.08 and you divide by zero point 0.8, and that'll get you choice D. So choice D is correct. Here, I'm going to just clear everything I put out. And yeah, let's move on. From 20, yeah, a lot of wasted space. I'm disappointed. 21. Dreams recalled during 1 week. The data in the table above were produced by a sleep researcher studying the number of dreams people recall when asked to record their dreams for 1 week. Group X consisted of 100 people who observed early bedtimes, and Group Y consists of 100 people who observed late or bedtimes. If a person is chosen at random from those who recalled at least one dream, what is the probability? So at least one dream is like this row down here or this row down here. I know it's highlighting over there, but yeah. So just no nuns. Person is chosen from random from the people who recalled at least one dream. What is the probability that the person belonged to Group Y? All right, so we add up 11 and 68, I suppose. Because here, I should do it on here. So the total sample size of Group Y for that Group Y is equal to 11 plus 68, 11 plus 68, which is equal to 79. Thirty-nine plus 125, which is equal to, in fact, 39 plus 125, 164. 164, and do 79 divided by 2 years. And we'll do that, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the 2008, we're going to take 2010, subtract it from 2008, or vice versa. We'll do all that jargon, we'll divide it by 2, and we'll get our answer, which should be, I'm not going to do the math just because it takes time and whatnot, but we already got it. For 22 should be B, 65 million. Million? Wait, what? Oh yeah, it's in thousands of dollars, so we added 2 3s, but yeah. 358 minus 488. Yeah, it should be 65. I just double checked it, but yeah, 65. Of the following, which program's ratio of its 2007 budget to its 2010 budget is closest to the Human Resources Program ratio 2007 budget to 2010 budget? All right, so closest would definitely be Human Resources, but I'm assuming that's not an option. Right. So we're going to need to calculate everyone's budget from 2007 to 2010. So which one are we doing? Human Resources Program. So we're literally just taking 2010s divided by 2007s divided by 2007 and seeing which is what, which is closest. And Human Resources Program. So for which is roughly 4 to 5. 2007 is 4, 2010 is 5. So yeah, what's 4 to 5? 1.4. All right. So oh wait, actually, no, highways and transportation. I just guessed it at random. However, for question 23, highways is pretty close, but here, I didn't enter the full thing. 1,468,482, and that divided by 1,778,930.8278. All right, can we get closer? We'll check. I'm not sure, but we might be able to. Education, 2.164 or 607 divided by 38036 300. Well, what did I do with point 2164607? Yep, that's 7.19. I need to double check my math. I think I got. Oh yeah, I definitely do. It's not 4 to 5. It's 4 point. Sorry, not 4.4051 divided by 5921. 5921 379 That's equal to 6.8. It's my bad. Yeah. Basically, if you do this, you'll get education is the correct answer. I could go through it, but it's a lot of just going through willy nilly, and I feel like I'm wasting time. Right. 24. Which of the following is an equation of a circle in the xy plane with center 0, 4 and the radius with endpoints 4/3, 5? So first, I suppose let's pull up the. All right. So we know the radius and we know the endpoint. So we can assume that. Okay, considering it's 0, x is not changed, and 4 for y, we know it's y minus 4 to go up 4. So it's either A or C. However, for radius is equal to, what is that? 5, the endpoint, minus the radius, minus 4 to the power of 2 which equals, what is that? 16 over 9. 16 over 1, so which is 9, that's the radius squared. And because it's the radius squared, it's choice A, I believe, is what I said. Yep, A. Choice A, because it's -4, because it's shifted up 4, and it's radius squared, which is 25 over 9. But yeah, don't forget, it's radius squared. They might try to get you with just radius, but it's radius squared. Right. 25. The equation above expresses the approximate height h in meters of a ball t seconds after it is launched vertically upward from the ground with an initial velocity of 25 meters per second. After approximately how many seconds will the ball hit the ground? So we just need to find the zeros of this equation and round to the closest number. So the zeros for this equation are, well, 0 for one, and the other is, we can factorize the t. We get basically, here, let me just get through all this jargon. Zeros, we want the zeros, and basically we'll factor out a negative t. We'll say 0 is equal to negative t. I need to turn off my keybinds, so I will be keybinds for music and stuff, and I do greatly apologize for that. Stream, transitions, not transition hotkeys. I have them set as numbers because I'm not doing well. Wow, that keybinds are fun, right? But that was not a fun, I suppose. Right, so let's hop back on and into it. Ow, I bit my tongue. But yeah, we're factoring a negative t, and we get 4.9 t minus 25. And we want, sorry, that's 0. And now I can do this. Now I can actually type in 0 and whatnot. And we're going to want 4.9 t to equal 25, which I believe, without even using a calculator, should be 5. But just to double check, 25 is choice D, yeah. You didn't even need a calculator for this one, but you could do it. You could also just graph it. It's also pretty easy. Honestly, it's probably easier. All right, so for 26, Katerina is a botanist studying the production of pears by 2 types of pear trees. She noticed that type A trees produce 20% more pears than type B trees did. Based on Katerina's observation, if the type A trees produce 144 pears, how many pears did type B trees produce? So it's just 20% more, so we multiply it by 1.2. A times 1.2. So 144 times 1.2. 144 times 1.2. 172. 172.2. Or 173, sorry, not 0.2, 0.8, which is 173. And that is our answer. Choice D is correct for 26. Wait, what? Did I do it wrong? I did it wrong. Oh no. Wait, so type A trees produce 20% more pears. Oh, I did it wrong. I fell into a mistake. That's a mistake. 20% more pears than type B trees did. So yeah, I had to divide by 1.2. 1.2, power of -1. And that'll get us the type B trees, right? So, yeah, I fell into my own mistake. I do apologize for that. Divided by 1.2, 144 divided by 1.2, and I wouldn't even got it. So that's 120 on the nose. And to prove it, 120 times 0.2, sorry, 120 times 1.2, yeah, we already got that. So it doesn't even matter. But yeah, I fell into my own mistake. Yeah, be careful around questions like that. Questions that seem easy are usually difficult as well. All right, let's move on to 27. A square field measures 10 meters by 10 meters. 10 students each. Okay, before anything, why are they using meters when they used inches before? And grams and micrograms, all this. It's just so weird. But anyway, 10 students each mark off a randomly selected region of the field. Each region is square and has side lengths of 1 meter, and no two regions overlap. The students count the earthworms contained in the soil to a depth of 5 centimeters beneath the ground surface in each region. The results are shown in the table below, which the following is a reasonable approximation of the number of earthworms to a depth of 5 centimeters beneath the ground surface in the entire field. Alright, so I do apologize. I've been reading the entire top part, and it's completely unnecessary. But yeah. You really should read the last line of a problem. Which of the following is a reasonable approximation of the number of earthworms to a depth of 5 centimeters beneath the ground surface in the entire field? Which of the reasonable approximation of the number of earthworms? Huh, I should make sure. Beneath the ground in the entire field. The field is just 10 by 10. Each region is a square and has side lengths of 1 meter and no two regions overlap. Alright, so that's interesting. Each region is 1 meter by 1 meter and there's 10 of them. So you really only get 10 square meters of the 100 square meters. So we're going to have to multiply our answer by 10. Multiply answer by 10. And that's pretty important, right? So for 27, yep. We have to realize that because 100 square meters, but check only 10 meters squared. We have to realize that. So multiply by 10 is whatever we get, we're going to multiply by 10. And we're going to just start adding everything. 107, sum all counted, times 10. So 107 plus 147 plus, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of doing that, I'm just going to round them all to 100 or 150. Because the answers are differs by magnitude of 10. So I'm just going to do that for a reasonable count assumption. So 10 plus 15 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 plus 20 plus 20. Yep. And going along with the recent approximation, we're going to multiply that by 10 and get, I believe, choice C, if I'm correct. For 27, it is choice C. Yes, indeed. 15,000. 15,000. And that's our answer. Right. And now we're in 28. System inequalities graphed in the XY plane above. Which quadrant contains no solutions in the system? All right, so y is greater than, all right, so we're going to want to graph this. So y is greater than or equal to 2x plus 1. Y is greater than, what's greater than? There's greater than 1/2 x minus 1. 1 half x minus 1. No, you don't have that in Desmos, so you won't be able to do less than or greater than, but you know, it's pretty cool. So rise greater than or equal to the top one, and yeah. So you're gonna go in here, you're gonna X out everything else, and just pop our stuff in, and yeah. So you notice quadrant 4 obviously is the outlier, but yeah, you'd have to, on your own person, you'd have to really assume, because like this is probably what you'd see on your calculator. You probably wouldn't be able to do greater than or equal to. So you'd have to assume, all right, so are they both greater than? In which case it's all like this is entirely included, or are they less than? In which case it's quadrant 4 that's included, and they're all greater than. So quadrant 2 is included. So quadrant 4 is excluded, and quadrant 4 would be the answer. Right. So quadrant 4. And yeah, so it's choice C for 28. Yep. Oh, we're almost near the end. That's fun. Nice. For polynomial p of x, the value of p of 3 is -2. Which of the following must be true about p of x? Right. I want to make sure everything else is working. Is it? Yep. All right, cool. I do apologize for just loading out. I just want to make sure I'm not doing anything crazy wrong. For polynomial p of x, the value of p of 3 is 2, -2. For polynomial p of x minus 5 is x minus 5 is a factor of p of x. Well, let's see. Let's say you put in 3 to that. 3 minus 5, that's -2. For polynomial, the value, maybe, I don't know. X minus 2 is a factor of p of x, so that would be 1 is a factor of p of x for this, which is, I guess, technically true. Oh, x plus 2 is a factor of p of x. The remainder when p of x is divided by x minus 3 is 2. This one's actually really tough, I feel. I'm not even sure where to exactly start tackling this. So a factor means we can just take that out. So it's some value of an equation such like x cubed plus 4x squared plus blah, 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 blah. So when we plug in 3 to the equation, we get resulting -2. I'm not even sure exactly where to start on this one. I believe the answer is D, though, based on the site. So I'm going to actually go on to practice its answers and try to understand it with you. So what was this, question 29? Yep. If the polynomial p of x is divided by x minus 3, the result can be written as p of x over x minus 3, or is equal to q of x plus r over x minus 3, where q of x is the polynomial, r is the remainder. Since x minus 3 is the degree 1 polynomial, which means it's x to the first power, the remainder is a real number. Hence, p of x can be written as p of x is equal to x minus 3 q of x plus r, where r is a real number. It is given that p of 3 is equal to -2, so it must be true that that -2 is equal to p. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Choice A is incorrect. So what it's saying, let's say, assume we factor out something. All right. Let's assume that we factor out, here, actually, I'll just draw it on here. P of 3, P of x. It's, what this is saying is that there's some value, I'm sorry, P of x is like something, if you divide that by x minus 3, well, no, you can factor it out. All right, let's take a step back here. Let's assume x is 3. So for, that means when we plug x into 3, we can factor it to 0, which means the rest of the polynomial is 0 except for the remainder. And that's what it's trying to say. P of x what it's trying to say is p of x divided by parentheses x minus 3 has a remainder equals r of, well, x, I suppose, equals r, that's what it's saying, which equals -2. That's what it's trying to say. And is this true? I believe, yeah, it is. Because yeah, let's say p of x, well, let's say, yeah, I'm really bad at explaining it. I think I barely understand it as well. I didn't really have a problem like that at SCT, so I really do apologize for those who have to face it. It's not my cup of tea. If I study it more, I might be better equipped to understand it. But yeah. Which of the following is an equivalent form of the equation of the graph shown in the xy plane above, from which the coordinates of the vertex A can be identified as constants in this equation? Alright, so it's going to be identified as constants in the equation. So it's basically just asking for an equivalent form of the equation, if I am correct, for question 30. From which the coordinates of vertex A can be identified as constants in the equation. Again, you might be able to graph this. In fact, you should. However, let's just go over one thing quickly. Choice D is the only option where you have the vertex actually used. So it is choice D, that is the answer. However, let's go through all the other choices. Choice A, x plus 3, x minus 5. That is an appropriate solution. Like everything, with the exception of B, is a possible solution. So it's looking for which is the most appropriate one. But A is probably something that's going to get a lot of heads turned. Because it is correct. Technically, it is a solution, but it's looking for a solution that where the vertex A can be identified as constants in the equation. And that's the key, that's the kicker. So that's the only choice is choice D. And you can also graph all of these if you want to. But yeah. And here, we're going to zoom out for a sec. Oh, that's a lot out. Oh, I suppose we should read through these. All right. Although not required, is this the same jargon we saw earlier for the first part? Wyatt can husk at least 12 dozen ears of corn per hour, and at most 18 ears of corn per hour. All right, so 12 is less than or equal to Wyatt's rate, which is less than or equal to 18. Right, we got that. Based on this information, what is the possible amount of time in hours it could take? What is a possible amount of time that it could take Wyatt to husk 72 dozen ears of corn? Oh yeah, also they're in dozens. So 72. So multiply by 5. I guess 12 divided by 72. Sorry, not that. 72 divided by 12, and this is the lower end. Well, no, this is the higher end of hours it takes. Is equal to, I believe, 6. Yep. And 72 divided by 18 is equal to 4, I believe. And thus, it's hours. 4 is less than or equal to hours, which is less than or equal to 6. And yeah, that's our answer. Anything between 4 and 6, inclusive, of course. Yep. That was pretty nice. A 32. And it's also pretty creative of a problem. I will say, the person who made this problem, I give them props. I know I hated on the SAT earlier because these people who create them are evil and sadistic, and CollegeBoard is a terrible, terrible site, which I do not recommend anyone to, I guess, really use. You know, it doesn't really educate you. It's just a test that you have to take for some schools, and a lot of schools are trying not to force you to take it because they realize that it's kind of stupid as well. But this question, pretty creative. I appreciate that. However, I will say one part of the difficulty about this question, which is contradictory to what I just said, is the fact that it's thinking outside of the box, which College Board never really asks. So based on that, someone who have practiced this test may be less inclined to get this correct. Maybe. It's not necessarily certain. All right, but let's move on regardless. The posted weight limit for a covered wooden bridge in Pennsylvania is 6,000 pounds. A delivery truck that is carrying X identical boxes, each weighing 14 pounds, will pass over the bridge. If the combined weight of the empty delivery truck and its driver is 4,500 pounds, what is the maximum possible value for X that will keep the combined weight of the truck below? Okay, so we're looking for a min-max sort of style. We're going to maximize X so that it's below 4,500. All right, so sorry, not below 6,000. Less than equal to. Really, we're going to find equal to, because less than equal to implies that we're finding a lesser value of X, which we're not. And each box is 14. But then we got add the. Sorry, let's start the original. This is technically the original equation. 4,500. However, because we are maxing it, we are looking for the maximum value of X. Bam. And then yada yada yada. We get X should be equal to, at the very least, should be. No promises, but X, in fact, should be, I believe, 107. I'm going to double check that. 1,500 divided by 14. All right. What is the maximum possible value for X? All right, so it is 107.14, 107.14. However, you can't have 0.14 per box, so 107 is your answer. 107 is your answer. Right. That's 32. Now on to 33. Number of portable media players sold worldwide each year from 2006 to 2011. According to the line graph, the number of portable media players sold in 2008 is what fraction of the number sold in 2011? Oh, so it's literally just a fraction. Sold in 2008. So 2008 is roughly 100. And we want that over 100 versus 160. And if we simplify this, 1 divided by 1.6, math fraction, and that is 5/8. 5/8. You just take the 2008 value and divide it by the 2011 value. A local television station sells time slots for programs in 30-minute intervals. If the station operates 24 hours per day, every day of the week, what is the total number of 30-minute time slots the station can sell for Tuesday and Wednesday? All right, so basically it's operating so it's 24 hours. We don't care about every day of the week. Well, actually, sort of do, but we sort of don't. And we want for 2 days. Yep. And considering we can fit 2 slots per hour times 2 slots per hour. So it should be 24 times 2 times 2. 24 times 2 times 2. 96 is our answer. Equals 96. And I understand you're going to say units are a bit of a mess, and they are. However, considering this is not really, oh, it is a unit answer. We used, we have a 2-day interval, 2 days for 24 hours each. So technically it's 2 days, or whatever. Yeah, we have 2 days, and then we have 1 day, 24 hours for 1 day. Yeah, I should have wrote that. And that makes it cancel out. That's slots is what we're left with. I do apologize. I probably should have wrote it better to start with. But yeah, that's 34. 35, 36, and 37, that's all that's left. 35, what is the question here? Oh, a dairy farmer uses a storage silo that's in the shape of a white cylinder above. If the volume of the silo is 72 pi cubic yards, what is the diameter of the base of the cylinder in yards? So the formula for a cylinder, I believe, is pi, or here, let's write it. Let's write as it was meant to. 72 pi is equal to pi times r to the power of 2, where's 2, and that times, here, let me just space everything out, just so it's r squared, times h, which is 8, so I'll copy and paste it on the next line. We'll divide by 8, 72 divided by 8 is equal to 9, right, 72 divided by 8 is 9, and we'll reduce that. We'll also get rid of pi, so r, and we'll get rid of this. R is equal to 3. It's not -3 because, you can't have a negative radius. Well, technically you can, but it's still just a positive radius. But that's another story for another day. Right, and D is equal to 2R, which is equal to 6. That is our answer for 35, 6. Yep. And now for 36. H of x is equal to that. For what value of x is the function above undefined? So that's a bit of jargon, but we want basically 0 in the denominator is equal to parentheses x minus 5 squared to the power of 2 plus 4 parentheses x minus 5 plus 4. All right, now this is something, right? And you'd expect it to be 2 answers because of the fact that it's a parabola, but actually there's only 1 answer, which means it's at the vertex, which you'd have to solve for anyway. However, good news, you're a genius. You realize that you, in fact, do have this thing called a graphing calculator. So you'll just get rid of everything that you don't need, just throw it in. And you'll say y is equal to that. And the value at 0 is 3. And that's your answer, 3. Right. Graphing makes things so much easier. So please, please, please don't forget to graph. And 3 is the correct answer. So yeah. Now we're on to 37. Oh, and I hate this last part. Questions 37 and 38 refer to the following information. Jessica opened a bank account that earns 2% interest compounded annually. Her initial deposit was 100. She used the expression 100 times x to the power t to find the value of the account x at t years. What is the value of x in that expression? Right. Well, x is 1.02, which is the answer. And why is it 1.02? Well, I'll show you if this will pop up. All right. X is equal to rate. Rate is equal to 1 plus interest. Rate, right? And so x is equal to 1.02. And that's why. So that's actually pretty easy. Jessica's friend Tyshawn found that an account that earns 2.5% interest compounded annually. Sorry. Tyshawn made an initial deposit of $100 into his account. At the same time, Jessica made a deposit of $100 into her account. After 10 years, how much more money will Tyshawn's initial deposit have earned more than Jessica? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to write this as an equation. So we want 100, and we're using parentheses. Actually, you know what? I was going to use brackets, but that's dumb because my key bonds are my brackets. All right, so we're going to do that. We're factoring 100. We're putting those equations. So we're putting the original x, Tyshawn's x. So 1.02 or actually, we don't even need 1.025 to the power of x minus 1.02 to the power of x. I said not to the power of x, to the power of t. How? Because we plugged in both x's, and considering it's actually after 10 years, we can do to the power of 10 to the power of 10. And when we plug that in, we should get roughly 6.11, I think. 1.025 to the, I will double check though. Let me delete that. Minus that. And times 10. Oh, wait, what? I definitely messed up somewhere. 2.5% interest compounded annually. Where did I mess up on? I feel like oh, because I forgot times 10. Yeah, it is 6.109. Yeah, so on the answer key, it does have 6.11 as the answer, which is technically off, considering it doesn't include 6.10, which I guess if you round up, you round up. Yeah, never mind, you should round up. I forgot about that. But yeah, that is going to do it for today. Don't save. And yeah, that's this terrible, terrible test. Done. All right. All right, this is the end game. This is what we've been waiting for. Right. So I just went through all that jargon just to prove I was still in my game, and I was not. I did mess up on that one question really poorly, and I do apologize. However, I really do hope that you've taken something away from this. This was much longer than I expected today. I expected to be half this time, me just be schmoving through, but it wasn't, and that's okay because it was fun. It was real fun, right? So again, if you have any questions or any concerns or comments, or want me to do any sort of other math-related content or content in general, please let me know, whether it be comments in the chat or if you're watching this on YouTube. Shout out to you, by the way. Put it in the comments. I'll make sure to actively be checking the comments to respond. Well, uh, and yeah, be sure to, I guess, maybe like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow me if you're on Twitch, because I did enjoy this in spite of the fact that it was rather long and I didn't even have caffeine tonight. But yeah, it was fun, and that's what I was expecting. I do. Well, it wasn't necessarily the most fun. Like I did lose a bit of energy through. Especially right after my tirade against College Board. But yeah, I feel like a lot of not college, but a lot of um, a lot of teachers misrepresent math, and that's a real shame. Math is something that can, I won't say it is, but I will say can be fun. I really enjoyed it as a young child, and I really wish other people enjoyed it more. So I'm gonna, I guess, try to make math fun. I'm gonna try to make math understandable, because I feel teachers do a poor, like if you don't understand math, teachers can't really help you because they don't know how. Unless it's a one-on-one session, they can't help you, and that's a real shame. So I really do hope that this has brought some light onto not College Board's SAT, which is a terrible, terrible test. I will never say otherwise. I mean, it can be fun, but it's terrible. Yeah. If you hate College Board, be sure to comment and say, yeah, College Board sucks, because it does. Right. And yeah. Be sure to just tell me what you like. Tell me what other math-related content or just content in general you want to see, because you are the key component of the channel. You are the key component of your life. You are the key component of what you see in the future. And asking people who are very open is a good thing to do. Something I wish I did more often when I was in high school, younger. Something I wish to do more often today. But yeah, please do. A lot of people are more than willing to help you. so please ask them. Right. I think that's gonna wrap it up the stream. If you have enjoyed, uh, I guess follow, like, subscribe, whatever. Comment, please. Comment is nice fan interaction. It's really cool, really helpful, and really all that pizzazz and then some. Also, if you have any other problems that are related to math, or maybe you're not related to math at all, or any other topics or something, feel free to comment them. I'm more than happy to read and understand you as a person. All right, and that's gonna do it. I really do appreciate you, and I hope you have a blessed, great rest of the week. And I hope if you do take the SATs soon, uh, they're not awful, but they will be. They will be, and I do apologize to you in advance. Right. Well then, I will see you later. Peace.